Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to episode 96 of the Building and Public series. Today, what you're going to see is us finishing example 4 of the horse racing website, Michael Bowen Racing, which at the moment we're currently templating. If you guys are familiar, I mean, you should be by now. Essentially, what we're doing is we're pre-recording a bunch of episodes just so we can play catch up because we are getting married in 3 weeks from now. And, obviously, we want to make sure that the Building and Public series is still going strong, even in my absence. Again, I do not know how long I'm going to be away for. I mean, I'm going to take a bit of a break because, again, we've been going strong now for, I mean, by the time the Building and Public series comes out, it'll be 100 plus days. So I think a break is more than warranted at the moment. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, guys, enough waffle from me. Let's get into today's episode. So, carrying on, as you can see at the bottom here, the episodes or the design, sorry, started at 3:20 in the morning. And yeah, why did it start at 3:20 in the morning? Well, I I'm very unfortunately, I think you would put it, I like UFC. I like cage fighting. And essentially, that's the problem with the UFC is if you're a fan in the UK, you get absolutely tortured because you have to get up at stupid hours in the morning, unless they have a pay-per-view event or UFC event in London every, it seems like every century at this point. But yeah, anyway, yeah, essentially what I'm doing in this episode is I'm designing the example on one screen and I'm watching UFC on the other. So if you see any pauses or anything like that, it's because I'm watching what's going on at the same time. But yeah, honestly, these sessions to me, when I was recording them, I really, really liked doing the two examples today that you're going to see, example 4 and 5, because to be honest, when it's nice and quiet and it's really early in the morning, to me, it feels like I can focus more. I can sort of like relax a little bit more and just create, if that makes sense. And yeah, essentially, that's what you're going to see today. We're doing here at the moment. We're working on the fourth example of this templating for Michael Bowen Racing, and essentially, what we're doing here is we're looking at a website that they've kindly given us in terms of inspiration, and we're just building on that. But yeah, essentially, what you're going to see over the next two episodes, you can see right now that there are currently six examples. What I kind of noticed while going through this process is that I think, to be honest, they didn't need six examples. And what I ended up doing was scrapping the sixth example and just basically in the last video that you'll see tomorrow, I essentially just went with the fifth example, free-handed it, and I think that was kind of what I was sold on in that scenario. But anyway, with today's episode, like I said before, one of the reasons why I liked, yeah, or one of the reasons why I like working on this stuff so early is because I can just be like creative and I can just run with it, right? Because you'll see, I think we end up actually designing this full template in roughly, I think it's about 40 minutes or so. Now, again, it's not too bad, and that's I think that's roughly about that could be how long it takes, every now and again to build a template, depending on the content that we have available. But yeah, honestly, I'm very happy with how this one turned out. The color scheme and stuff is quite nice. It's a bit different to like the blacks and the whites that we kind of deal with, and I think we've got a brown one as well, a brown template. But basically, the whole idea behind this concept, behind this templating stuff, is to literally just get an idea of what the client likes, what the prospect likes, right? So if there are any web designers that are coming up in the game that want to get started or anything like that, personally, this is how I approach it, just because it gives people an idea of what they're getting themselves into, I suppose, or what they're going to be working with, right? Now the thing is, look, right, I'm not going to say I'm one of the best website designers or anything like that, but there's definitely a reason why people want to work with me. Okay, and honestly, it could be the way that I approach things in terms of processes. I don't know, right? But obviously, the way I work this process, the way I run this side of it, I mean, it seems to work with people. People seem to get an idea of like, okay, yeah, this guy can bring us, a new website or a better website and stuff. And yeah, that's essentially what the play is here. I mean, you saw in yesterday's episode that we had a client sneak peek with Star Multi-Fuels. If they do become a client, it's going to be that exact same process. We're going to template for them. We're going to see what they like, see what they don't like, come together on a finalized idea, and then basically work on building the website from that. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I got to be honest, this template, I really did like the way this template worked because it has a nice approach to like the images and stuff, where like the images fade behind and everything, and it kind of just makes the whole experience a bit more fluid. And that's honestly one thing I liked about this design because it does follow on from their other competitor, but it's like an inspiration side from it. But honestly, I think the way we designed it with the color scheme and stuff, it looks awesome. And yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see what the client gets from it. If they get inspiration from it, if they say yes to one example, no to one example, or if they want a mix of like a couple. You know what I mean? And yeah, honestly, guys, there not much else to report for this episode. Um, yeah, obviously, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 97. But in the meantime, guys keep well, guys keep all right, and yeah, see you tomorrow.